It's flying directly ahead of us and in the distance. You should see like a little black spot. Let's see who it is. It's very difficult with this dark sky. I can't even tell you what color it is. It looks like it is brown. It's probably a Wahlbergs Eagle because it doesn't look particularly big. I'm going to go with a Wahlbergs Eagle. It looks quite small in fact, but can't be too sure. Like I said, it just looked brown and just saw the silhouette of it. Oh, we've got some Waterbuck up ahead. Good morning, Waterbuck. Try and get a good view. Let's go stealth mode. Don't run away, please. We just want to have a look at you because you're the first Waterbuck I've seen all morning, and it's a young one. Hello, little one. Where's your mum? I'm sure the rest of the herd is lurking just in the distance. You can see this little one doesn't look very impressed with how, look at its wet bum, still wet coat, everything hasn't quite dried. Though this wind is acting like a hairdryer at the moment, especially when you do have a shaggy coat like a Waterbuck. What are you doing? Sometimes what mom will do, though this calf looks slightly older than oh no, here we go. Here comes mom, just about to poke her head out of the bushes. So normally what happens when a Waterbuck is quite young, and it happens with quite a few of the antelope species, mom will actually drop the little one off in a drainage line somewhere in some thick bush. There's an entire herd coming out, which is fantastic, and leave them there, and then she'll go and feed off into the distance, because predators will associate calves being at the foot of a mother normally. And if they hide those little ones away, they may have a better chance of surviving. That's normally just until they can handle their legs properly and they can actually run and keep up with the rest of the herd. You can see here comes another juvenile. So far I've just seen 2 adult females and 2 of these juvenile Waterbuck. But those little ones are really so fluffy, much fluffier than the adults. So they've still obviously got their baby coat, which I'm sure will start to thin out in the next few months. And there you go, off they go. And watch how, when this little one disappears into the thicket, how that white ring that is on a Waterbuck's bum is the only thing that you can sort of see. That, and I don't know if you can see on the side of its face, just down and below its eyes, is another white streak of hair. I've actually just noticed that. You know, it stands out quite nicely in the bush as well. It seems to be more prominent on the little ones. On the adults it's not quite as white and as obvious, but that white ring is very important if they do go darting off into this thicket that they're moving into. That white ring will obviously stand out quite nicely, like you can see there. That's sort of all you can see, and that's what the other members of the herd will be using to try and follow each other. So those are called follow me signs. We saw it nicely yesterday where we saw the black markings on the ears of the lions as well as the black tip on the tail. Oh, here comes another one. Oh, this is nice. There's actually quite a few of them coming out of this little drainage line. Over here comes another female. Good morning. Here you go. Stop, listen, smell, just to check. And that's something that you'll see the animals doing quite often, especially the antelope species. They will walk, 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 and then they'll pause briefly, scan around them, listen, also see if they can pick up any new scents, and then they will carry on moving. And that's what they have to keep doing. We actually saw it quite nicely 2 afternoons ago with the herd of zebra that we waited for about an hour and a half until they came down to drink. They didn't feel quite comfortable, and they wanted to just make sure that there weren't any predators lying around before they made that steep descent to the water, which is very clever of them. You don't actually see, or in this area I haven't seen too many lions feeding on zebras. I think I've only actually seen it twice. So they must be doing something right. There's a few more Waterbuck coming out of the thicket. They are still just making their way though. And as they come out of one thicket into the clearing, they move straight back down into another thicket to keep out of this miserable wind that we have this morning. You can see their coats blowing quite nicely in the wind. Lovely. Now, one thing I want you all to do is, when you see an area, like for instance perhaps this patch over here, take a screenshot just so that you can see how dry the ground is, and try and take a screenshot every day. Maybe we will try and do that just before we head back, we'll stop on quarantine, and let's make a plan. Let's stop at the same spot every day for the next week, and everybody takes a screenshot, and maybe you can put a collage or something together and hashtag Safari Live once you've made a collage, so we can see how quickly the grass has come through and see the changes. That's quite nice to do. So I'll maybe try and mark out an area with my brain on quarantine, and we'll maybe choose a big tree or something like a marker that we can remember where to stop every morning and every afternoon. And then we'll see how that goes. I think that's quite a nice challenge, and I don't know if anybody has done that with you. So for those of you who have just tuned into the show, welcome. My name is Tayla again, and we've got Eggsy on camera, and you are welcome to have a chat with us. I'd love to hear from you. It's a bit cold, a bit slow this morning. The animals haven't quite woken up after all the stormy night. So if you'd like to send in any questions, you can either hashtag Safari Live on Twitter, or we're also available on email, so you can send your questions to questions@WildEarthTV. And I really look forward to hearing from you. We're going to leave these Waterbuck now. They have completely disappeared down into a drainage line. We're going to carry on with this road, which I have no idea where we're going, but we're just going to drive on it. At the moment, it doesn't even look like a road, because the rain has just washed away any of the little ruts, which is quite nice. You can actually see, have a look at these mud wallows that we have over here, just to the left. Ooh, my goodness, you see those rain covers, they're attacking. And the Waterbuck have also got a bit of a fright. I think that could have been the sound of the rain covers rustling. Sorry about that, everybody. But I wanted to show you these mud wallows. Now, mud wallows are actually created on days like this. Obviously, we've had quite a bit of rain, as you can see, and the ground is nice and soft now. So all it takes is an elephant to come marching on along and to walk on some of this soft ground. And obviously, an elephant is quite big, and it will leave a big indentation in the muddy surface. And on a nice hot day, like maybe tomorrow or the next day, when there's still a bit of water in that footprint, something like a warthog may come through and go, oh, fantastic, this is a perfect size to fit my bum inside, and give it a little wiggle. And then they may have a little mud bath and that, and then it widens. All that mud is being dug out and popped out onto the sides, and then maybe a family of warthogs comes through and does the same thing. And eventually, these holes get deeper and deeper. Like if you go to a little bit to the left, you can see that there's a smaller one, and then obviously on the right you've got the nice big one, so now you can see the size comparisons. And eventually you'll get things like rhinoceros, buffalo, elephants all coming through and wallowing and having mud baths, which creates these mud wallows. Now, I was telling Eggsy that it's going to be great when the weather does start to get hot again, because these wallows are going to hold this water for a few days, and we know how much the buffalo love to wallow in the water, so it's going to be great. We're going to hopefully be seeing lots of different species of animals coming down and enjoying this little natural bath, I suppose it is. And even the starlings, that's actually something I'm going to be looking out for. With the Cape glossy starlings, which has to be one of my favorite birds, when they come through in flocks and they come down and have a little bathe in the mud wallows like this, that's always quite entertaining. So that's something that we're going to be looking out for in the next few days as well. Right, let's carry on. And see what else we can find. But thank you for those Waterbuck though. Thank you, nature, because it was very quiet. My body's not quite used to the fluctuations in temperature. 1 minute it's hot, next minute it's freezing cold. Oh no, now we are at a junction. I think I'm going to have to whip out the trusty GPS and just have a quick look over here. Let's go and see how Jamie's doing at Twin Dams.
While Tayla decides whether she wants to go left or right, we're going straight ahead along Twin Dams to see what we can see. And I think our next trip will be Buffelshoek Dam. I was going to stop off at our Barbett's Nest until I realized I'm not allowed to drive across the dam wall. So I'm not allowed to drive there, unfortunately, at the moment, just because the roads are in a delicate state right now. as are certain other areas. So for example, if we had lines somewhere around this drainage line but not in the drainage line itself, we'd have to be very, very careful about how we drove through there, because we could actually end up doing some serious damage to the top layer of soil and actually contributing to the erosion that's happening around this drainage line. And I'll try and find a spot and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So it's a whole different ball game driving around on wet roads. Now, Christine, we're sort of going from one extreme to the other. You want to know how often we get flooding in the Sabi Sand. The last big flood, if I'm not very much mistaken, was 2012 here. There was... Sorry, I'm trying to work out what that is. Oh, it's a very happy Egyptian goose. Sorry, Dave. Keep you on your toes. One very happy Egyptian goose flapping off. Well done, Dave. The last one, big one, was 2012. When I was working on Makalali, which was 2013-14, there were massive floods in that area. The whole of Hoedspruit was shut down. Couldn't get to Hoedspruit. The Zandspruit River flooded. It was quite entertaining. Somebody's been playing skid. Look at the mud, look at the tracks. Should we go, Dave? It's our turn now. Yeah. It's our turn now. Okay. Yay. So much fun. That was a particularly interesting flood, because I was trapped, I was on leave, and I'd gone to visit a friend in a place called Liverpool, not the English Liverpool, obviously, and I got completely stuck. Okay. Please don't let us get stuck now. I'll be so embarrassed. Whee! Sliding all over the show. I got stuck in Liverpool and I had to get I've got a very old RAV4 that I got from my mom. And that RAV4 has been in our family since I was 11. And I took it when I was old enough to start driving around. And an old RAV4 that I had to get through these incredibly flooded river passes. It was unbelievable. I had water flowing over my feet. Testament, I better not say this, should I? No, I'm not doing, no product placement, sorry. No further discussion about that. Anyway, my old little car did beautifully. That was the last big flood. The river crossings on Makalali were 6-7 meters underwater. The lodges washed away and closed for about, those were closed for close to 4 or so months. We found all kinds of interesting things, because obviously after a big flood like that you get, oh, little Duiker, oh, it's running away. It was sleeping. Sorry, little Duiker. We'll see it now. There we go. One damp Duiker. There you go. Hello, girl. Yes, I'm a jolly good groom. A female Duiker with a much smaller mohawk than normal. Usually the females have long, straight mohawks in the middle of their heads. Hers was quite tiny. But flooding and rivers, obviously they flow from somewhere, and quite often that's through different villages and so on, and then through the reserves. And that means it brings, unfortunately, a pile of debris down. And so we played a game called River Cleanup Bingo. And we drew up bingo cards. It was things like shoes and whatever else, bottles. And you got a certain number, every person got a bingo card, and off we went to go and clean up the river. Tires, buckets, some things that are not mentionable. And other things as well. It was very interesting to find placemats, lamps. Now we do get occasional huge floods. There was a massive flood in the early 2000s in the Kruger National Park. I remember seeing it on the news as a child. And if you go to the Kruger National Park now, somebody's driven here already, let's drive here then. I don't like, if we can avoid driving down roads people have already driven down, makes sense. If you go to Kruger National Park now and you stop at the rivers, there's a painted line on the roads that marks the flood levels. And if you go to places, certain camps, there's flood lines painted on the buildings with signs saying either the 2012 or 13 flood and the early 2000s flood. So it does occasionally flood. One thing I can guarantee, if we have normal rains this year, at some point we will be stranded, we will not be able to get out of camp, and at some point our food order will not arrive. It's just the way of things. The roads get closed, they're impassable. It's just a reality. What little bird is sitting over there? I can't even see. You see it there, Dave? Bright white tummy. There, it's looking very fluffed up. It's a puffback. Oh, that's a chagra. That's a little chagra. Our puffback, if you go up, Dave, is in the buffalo thorns above that. There. Thank you very much. That's a blackback puffback, also known as a puffed back shrike. And we don't often get to have a close look at them, so this is actually quite exciting with their bright cherry red eye. And named, of course, for the fluffy white patch that sits under the black along its back. Come on, fluff yourself up for us. Fluff yourself up. Show them your puffback. Ah, I saw it earlier. It did do it just a moment ago. Oh, and gone. Let me just show you a picture in my book. I will also do their call for you, but I will do the literal call as I've decided it is, as written. Sorry, hold on one moment. I've forgotten how the alphabet works. Shrike, puffback. Where is it now? What did I say it was called? Puffback. It's a new name. Puffback, there we go. 580. So there we go. And that is our black-backed puffback. And that is the fluffy white of a displaying male. And that, by the way, I think was a male. It was definitely a male, sorry. He was displaying. And there we have his puffed back puff over there. It looks like a little fluffy, I don't know, a dandelion almost. That's why it's called a puffback. Oh, Tayla's laying down the gauntlet this morning. She says she can do a better black-backed puffback call this morning. I think Tayla's missed the point of the fact that I'm doing literal translations of calls as written, because it's much funnier. Chick-woo, 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 chick-woo. So it is actually a bill snap. They've got a bill snap that they have going on. Right, Tayla, you've laid down the gauntlet. Let's see if your call is better than mine. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, the master of the call himself has flown away. I can't do a black-back, puff-back call. I can't do it. I'd have to hear it and then try and imitate it back. It does have a nice bill snap to it. All right, Tayla. Laying down the gauntlet this early on a Sunday morning. Let's hear her puff-back shrike call.
So just before I do my black-backed puff-back call, can you see we managed to find two Duiker boys moving through a very dense patch of trees, unfortunately, and they are disappearing. But at least we very quickly got to see another mammal. Right, now for my call, everybody. You're going to have to be the verdicts here, everybody, so send in your comments what you think. So now I have to tell you before I do my call, different birds have different accents. It sounds quite silly, but it's like you and I, we all speak in a different way. Now up in this area, the black-back puffbacks sound different to the ones that I used to see down in the Eastern Cape. So this is going to be the northern South African black-back puffback call. Okay, you ready? Now I've been practicing for about the last 5 minutes. So I think they sound like this. So for those of you who have maybe got a bird app or something along those lines, or are familiar with the sound of a blackback puffback, that is my guess as to what they sound like. And now that I've also done a bird call, I believe that Jamie refused to do her rain dance. Now she's got no legs to stand. I'll even do another one. What other bird call could I possibly do? Should we try to do a fish eagle? I can only try and whistle it. That's my attempt at a fish eagle. Now I've done 2 birds. Jamie, you better start practicing that rain dance, my friend. So it's nice to have a little bit of banter, like Jamie says, early on a Sunday morning. I'm excited. We've got some birds up ahead. Let's see who we've got. It looks like a forked-tailed drongo who has just flown away and now it's gone, so I cannot show you anymore. Birding is probably the most difficult, trying to catch them on camera because they never seem to hang around for very long. So I have to ask the ladies in final control, what did you think of my call? I just want to hear a little whisper in my ear. Thank you. So Rebecca in final control, she says that my northern South African blackback puffback was a great call. She says she wants to hear the variation from the Eastern Cape. Now, they didn't do that clicking, whistling sound at all. They did something completely different. Now, I don't know if I can even remember, but I remember how I used to hear it, and it always used to sound like they were going kill, 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 kill. It was very high-pitched and strange noise, and that's how I remember it. So that's not really a call because I'm just saying a word. I'll have to practice that one and maybe try it this afternoon. I'm trying to think what other bird calls I can do for you, seeing as I am being so silly this morning. So embarrassing, everybody. All my friends that watch me do the rain dance, they're never letting me live it down. So I hope that you enjoyed that dance that I did yesterday. Let's see, who else have we got, Shaggy? Have you seen any more birds? No, me neither. I think the wind has taken them away from us. And those buffalo were very rude. They didn't want to hang around. They were there for a whole of about 30 seconds. But I suppose, like I say, you can't blame them. It's windy. It's not fun being out in the open. You can see me. I've got my big, thick jacket on this morning. And I must say that this is the first actual waterproof jacket that I've bought. The other ones say that they're waterproof, but I still get wet. And this one's quite a good one. I'm very impressed. That and a black garbage bag works really well too. So you could probably save your money and just use one of those. But bumpy. Now I don't know where to go. Where are we going to go? Because I don't want to drive on any roads that I'm not supposed to. I have to very quickly have a look to remember my code. Right, where are we? I think we're in this junction. So everybody, I need to follow it. So you're going to see me looking at my screen, trying to navigate. We want to carry on going straight, I think. I think that's a good idea. Let's see if I just want to make sure that we get past this junction and I'm doing the right thing, because we're coming up to some roads now that we are not going to drive on, and just probably because they've put a black cotton soil and we don't want to do any sinking. Oh, and down we go. Roller coaster. We are, everybody. Look who I've just spotted. Right, I'm going to challenge Jamie to a rain dance right now. She's not going to be able to get away from this, everybody. Hello, how are you? I'm very well. So did you hear that I've done a whole lot of bird calls? So are you going to do that rain dance for us quickly?
Tires and washing vehicles.
Yes. Was that the right answer? Should we do a combined rain dance?
No, I think you guys should do one together.
I love how the cameraman, birthday David, is full of advice this morning. He's exempt from today.
You guys should do one together.
I think, okay, because I think David needs to join us. Yes, we've got, no, come on, out you go, right, everybody.
Are we doing this?
Yes.
Right. Okay, well, you know the
Right. So we've had a request from Elizabeth, everybody, from Singapore, and she thinks that David Downpour needs to join us for the dance. So out you get, and let's let's try and do this dance. We haven't choreographed anything, everybody, so this is going to be an interesting. Oh, you're going to take it off? But it's fine, everybody.
Otherwise I'll break.
The animals aren't playing, so you can just watch us jump around like maniacs. Come on, we need a stage. We need a stage.
The world's your stage.
Is the whole world my stage? There's lots of thorns on the trees, though.
Yes, it's quite cold.
It is quite cold. This is going to warm us up, though.
That's true. Oh, Dave's
Look, he's got no shoes on.
He's wearing shorts as well.
I know, we're not... We are crazy this morning. So, are you ready for this?
Let's do this.
Are you trying to get those legs working? But where are we going to do this?
Just right here, I reckon.
Yeah, is this our stage? As Eggsy points. Okay, but I have to take the gloves off in case maybe a handstand or a cartwheel comes out this time. Wait, are they going in the pockets? Quickly, everybody. We're warming up. Okay, who's going to make noise for us though? We need some music. Eggsy, we need music. Right, are we ready? Okay, go.
What are we doing?
That was amazing. I'm going to do 1, 2, and jump. And why not? And little ballerina turns. Woo! We've all done it. Well done. And we're doing a rain. Little bit of exercise. Isn't this amazing? I did the can yesterday as well. Let's do the can. Come on.
Okay,
Downpour Day, we're doing the can. Come. Because you've got to obviously do the
right next to it.
first.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
I know, we're not right, everybody, this is why we do this in the bush and we are not dancers though. Jamie, you used to be a dancer.
I did.
So show us what were you, modern, ballet?
I'm a ballet dancer.
Okay, one ballet move.
What move? I can do anyone.
Oh, anyone. It'll break.
Yeah. I'll do a handstand for you.
Okay, well, there we go.
That's what I'm going to do.
That's fine.
Let's keep our handstand.
What are you doing? Okay, Jamie's gonna do a handstand. Go, Jamie! Whee! That was awesome!
Let's check my blue socks. I couldn't find any socks.
So very nice. I got little hearts on them. Strawberries. Ooh, yum. Sounds delicious. Okay, good teamwork, guys. Good teamwork. And one for Eggsy for being the best cameraman in the world. Okay, now everybody, I need to get in and plug my lifeline. I hope you... I'm going to be washing vehicles and changing tires for a long time and making probably lots of coffee as well. But at least I did it with you and I didn't let you do it on your own. Everybody, I hope you all enjoyed that. I know, and we're going to have to go back early. If it does, it's Jamie's fault, not mine. Right. Whew, that was good. I'm warm now, I'm not even cold. I don't even need gloves anymore. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye. 2 sugars and milks, she shouts as we drive away. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. It was lots of fun. And I don't know if I'm actually working because I obviously did cartwheels and things. So sorry, I need to just double check everything is on. Yes. Whew. Goodness gracious. Gym done for the day. No, I'm just joking, everybody. It's not. That doesn't count. Now, where to go next? We'll just carry on straight and see where this takes us. Oh my goodness. Can't believe we actually did that, everybody. But it's done. No going back. Right, birdies, where are you? I'm still just laughing to myself, everybody. No animals around here. I'm not sure if this is the way that Jamie actually came from. Okay, everybody, while I catch my breath and try and salvage what's left of my name, let's go back to Jamie and see how she's doing after that little dance.
No, we don't have audio either. Go, Dave, go!
I've got you on that mic so we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Cool. Dave is currently fixing something on my microphone, so with dignity and tact, sort of, the team of Rusty trundles onwards. Well done, Dave. It was very, very sporting of you. Sorry to do
An eye out for one that was actually alive. Now, unfortunately, I haven't seen anything, or any ones that are moving, but I managed to find this one that's half buried in the ground. And the reason why you will see an African land snail coming out after the rains is, especially during the dry periods, or if, for example, we've been having a drought, what they'll do is they'll sort of estivate, and they will form a mucus membrane over the entrance of the shell and actually live inside of their shell, and in that it'll keep them nice and moist, and they can stay like that for up to 2 years. So they're sort of waiting for the conditions to get better again, and I'm pretty sure once they've come out of that estivating period, they will lay lots and lots of eggs. So they're actually hermaphrodites, so there's no male or female. Sort of one snail can produce a whole lot of eggs. So they drop thousands and thousands of eggs, and they're actually one of the most invasive species of snails in the world. So you get different variants of the giant land snails, but they're up in the top 10 most invasive species in the world. But thankfully for us, lots of different things like to eat them, and something that you may be familiar with. I'm sure in the coming now into the summer months, you're going to start seeing lots of little flashing lights after we've had some rain as the sun goes down, and those are fireflies, and the larvae of the firefly actually feeds on snails. So normally they will eat smaller African land snails and then actually utilize that shell as a home afterwards, which I think is quite interesting. Right, now we're going to carry on. It's gone very cold again. I needed to do a little bit more of the jumping around, so I hope you enjoyed that. And I look forward to looking at the comments about our dance a little bit later. As we bumble along here, just going to keep an eye out for some kudu or some impala perhaps. I think I'm still going straight. I may just have to check again. I think so. Yes. Are we going straight? No, we're not going anywhere because I'm on the map. Where am I? Yes, still going straight, everybody. Rightio. So I haven't really heard too much about the update of those lions. So possibly when I get an opportunity, I'm going to jump onto the radio and just figure out which channel they are on, and see if we possibly can't go and pop back past them just to have one more glimpse before the end of the show. But I do know that there were loads and loads of vehicles hoping to see lions. Some of the guides who work further south of us, apparently they hadn't seen lions for quite some time, so I know that they were absolutely excited to be able to see them. We are so fortunate. We pretty much have seen them in Kahumas since I've been here every single day. I think barring one day we didn't see them. Maybe it was even just one game drive that we didn't see them. So I'm so happy about that. Everybody always says that the game viewing down in the south is a lot better up than what it is up in the north. Well, I'm starting to disagree. I've had some unbelievable sightings, and I've seen a lot of first things as well. So I think everything is changing for the good. So I wonder where those leopards are hiding, because we haven't seen very many leopards now. We had, I suppose we had we had Karula and her cubs yesterday, which was quite nice. Right, everybody, I think Jamie has managed to sort her audio out while I try and find out what's happening with the Kahumas. Then head on over to her, and I'll let you know if we can pop back and see the cats.
Sorting it out is all a relative term, because this mic is still causing us problems. Sorry, Dave, these rollers are having such a fight. Ah, and they've stopped. Wait, they might keep going. I'm hoping our audio is back up and running. Is it working? Okay. Oh, goodness, the joys. Okay. rollers have just stopped as I tried to pull over. They were furiously shouting at each other and doing the display that the rollers get their name from. They're much better at dancing than we are, and doing that gentle side-to-side rocking motion that they do. I was just asking Dave why it is that we decided to run in a circle. That's not even dancing. It doesn't even make any sense. Oh, there they go. They're mobbing. They're actually mobbing something as well. Oh, goodness. Come this way. Come this way. They're very cross about something. It might be... There we go. We got the half a roll. Well done, Dave. What are they mobbing? Oh, they're mobbing each other. Try 2 on your radio. Try 2. No problem, you may have to be closer to hear them. Okay, our rollers are fussing about. Sorry about that, I just had to grab my game drive channel quickly so that I could help Tayla out with what game drive comms she needs to use in order to ask about the Nkahuma sighting. Shame, she found herself in the middle of a main road sighting, which is always quite difficult because we manage it on different radio channels. I feel like my mic is now trying to climb into my chin. Sorry. There you go. Oh dear. Dave, if I put it under the wheels of the car, am I going to get into trouble? Probably. Probably, yes. Alright, so that's not the solution. Violence is not the answer. Okay. It seems to be working for now. We seem to have isolated, at least on this particular occasion, what the problem is. There's a very bad connection with the cable, so we've just taped it back together. When in doubt... Oh, gone. Did I mess with it? When in doubt, fix it with gaffer tape. Okay. Very gently place it down. Okay. Right, let's see if we can't race to Buffelshoek Dam before the end of the sunrise safari. Just have a look at how much rain they got there, because we know that they had more rain in Buffelshoek. I'm hoping that the northern parts, it feels like the northern parts of Djuma have had more rain. Lots and lots of runoff on the roads, waterlogged ground. It's wonderful. And as chilly and as cold as it is for us out here, it's still a marvellous morning. Don't you agree, Mrs. Duiker? Oh, never mind. Nope, gone. I'm sorry. It's because I called you Mrs. and you're a Mr. My apologies. There's a male Duiker, not a female. Here we go. Found its way through the bushes eventually. And speaking of Duiker, no word yesterday after Karula disappeared away from that sighting with her cubs, away from the baboons that chased them from their kill. They'd completely disappeared. I don't know why the Waterbuck are all running away. I think it's just herd panic, moving away from the wind. So Karula disappeared. It's impossible for us to track a leopard in this weather. With waterlogged roads like this, a leopard is not going to leave a footprint. Yes, it's very, very difficult to track. Now, we'll have to wait until it dries out a little bit, or bump into her. We might have to wait until it dries out and we can see their tracks in the road. Just think, Dave, if Tayla had gone, where did she go? She went right. If she'd gone left instead, no, sorry, she went left, judging by her tyre tracks. If she'd gone right instead, we would never have had to rain dance. Oh, I'm joking. I knew we were going to get roped into it. I knew I was going to get roped into it at some point. Just bringing up the suspense, building the suspense. Okay. Actually, before we get to Buffelshoek Dam, there's another water point, and that is Quarry Pan Road. The nice thing about us trundling along here is, judging by the car tracks, or lack thereof, nobody has driven here. And it's always a good place to check. It's where the Nkuhumas had a buffalo kill when I first started working for Wild Earth. Feels like a very long time ago now. Back when there was still 8 of them. Okay, the Ellies have been around. Lots of elephant dung in the road, so we might get an elephant herd before the end of the sunrise safari. Weather like this, you know that most of the animals are hiding. Even the birds are often hiding away, sheltering from the wind, finding a nice, safe spot. Oh dear, I think Mike's just stopped for a coffee break at Buffelshoek Dam. I'm sure he won't mind if we come and just have a quick peek at the dam itself. Well, there we go. Morning Glory says the last time that she remembers it raining, we stopped and found a karula drinking from a puddle in front of us. Well, let's hope that that occurs again this morning. I'm trying to think of when that was. I don't remember when the last rains were. We had a little funny rain in the middle of June or July, didn't we? Unexpected, odd seasonal rain, out of season rain. Sorry everybody, just listening to the game drive updates, making sure I haven't missed anything. But it doesn't seem like it. It seems everybody's having a quiet morning. Here we go, there's Quarry Pan. The pan for which Quarry Pan gets its name. Any terrapins? Nope. No terrapins. Wonder where they all are. They've all gone into east. They all would have been in eastivation, hiding underneath trees and stumps. Ooh. Bill, in Nevada, you wanted to know what the difference is between a terrapin and a turtle, and a tortoise, of course. But the chelonians, and I'm just going to see if I have my chelonian. I do have my chelonian book. Tortoises, terrapins, and turtles of Africa. So a tortoise is, sorry, I'm going to go into tortoises as well. There is a tendency, particularly in other parts of the world, to use the word turtle to describe absolutely every chelonian, including tortoises and terrapins. Tortoise is terrestrial. It's got feet. The only species of tortoise that we have here that can swim is the leopard tortoise, and they move about on land. Turtle has flippers, only comes onto land to lay eggs, and is purely aquatic, swims in the ocean. A terrapin has got clawed, webbed feet and goes swimming as well as can walk over land. So it's kind of the in-between, the terrapin and the tortoise combination. I'm trying to think if there's a page in here about the difference. No. There's a whole key, but that's going to be a little bit too complex. I don't think we're going to go into the full details of the key to the chelonian families in Africa. So there's a couple of differences. Our terrapins usually draw, I'm not going to even show you this, sorry, I'm going to close this book. The terrapins draw their heads sideways into their shells. The tortoises go in to their shells, retract inwards. And the turtles cannot retract their heads at all. They cannot retract their heads and their feet into their shell, or their flippers, I should say. going to go look for some terrapins in Buffelshoek Dam. Meantime, let's head across to the rain dance queen, and find out where she is.
I do prefer Rain Queen, and I'm glad I'm not being called the Ice Queen, so that's alright, I'll take that. Though I think David Downpour is to thank for all the wonderful rain that we got. His predictions were spot on, everybody, so I think if you need any weather advice, you should definitely ask Dave. So what we're going to do now is I'm trying to get a little bit closer to where this lion sighting is to see if I can try and poke my nose in just for a few more minutes. So I'm just having a little listen. Give me just 30 seconds just to quickly hear what's going on. I don't think I can get hold of them just yet. I think we're still a little bit further away. I think there's quite a bit of interference that's coming off of from this wind. No, I can't really hear too much. Let me quickly see if I can get a word in. Can anybody copy me? Andrews, is there any possibility for a standby for those Ngonyam on Zoe's Road? Copy, thank you. Right, everybody, we have managed to get a standby position available for this lion sighting. There's obviously lots of guys who are still trying to get through the sighting, so we will see if we make it in time. Otherwise, we're just going to have a little bumble around and see what else we can find in the meantime. Ooh, it's a bit loud. Ooh, goodness gracious. Got lots of voices talking in my head this morning. Oh, I can hear some babblers, everybody. Let's see if we can get a view of them. I can see one. Don't fly away now. Forward again. No, you're going to fly to the next one. Can you see that one that's perched up? I don't know how long it's going to stay on the branch for. There they are. See them hopping and flying around. So that was, in fact, you can see them. Actually, if you zoom right in, straight over there, you may see them on the ground. And down and to the left, they were hopping there. They are hopping about there. So that's a flock of arrow-marked babblers. And I'm not sure if you caught them calling, but they are loud, chattery birds, as their name suggests. Babblers. They are funny-looking little birds. And they are quite comical too. Remember I was telling you the story about how we've got a group of arrow-marked babblers that plague us at the DRC. Look at that one, just turning over all the leaves just to see if there's any insects that are perhaps coming out of the ground. Like I said, all their burrows would have definitely been flooded at the moment, so they'll all be coming to the surface. So they look quite happy fluttering around in that leaf litter over there. There you go, find some more. But it's quite a difficult view with all these different trees, and they are quite a distance away from us. So we're slowly adding birds to the list. I know that Brent and James have been doing a bird list for quite some time now. So I'm hoping to find some unusual birds. I don't think today we'll find too many unusual birds, but as the weather warms up, to add to that bird list. There we go, you can see them now. Congratulations, Terry. I'm going to roll back a little bit. Terry says that she started her list in May and is now on 121 birds. Oh, there they're up on the top of the tree now. See them just there too. Oh, they're flying again. They never sit still for too long. So that is fantastic news, Terry, and I hope you keep adding birds to that list and keep it growing. It seems like those babblers have gone out of sight now, unfortunately. Let's carry on up ahead. We're going to carry on with our bumble, and hopefully we get to have one last little sneak peek of these lions before we have to end the show. So I'm still just making my way closer just in case they call me right in at the last second. I know you'll all appreciate even just to have one last glimpse at some lions. Right, Jamie's reached her destination at Buffelshoek Hook Dam, and I'm going to continue making my way towards those lions.
We have reached our destination. In this case it is Buffelshoek Dam, and what an incredibly dramatic change we have here. Absolutely there was more rain in the northern side of Djuma than there was in the south. This is quite incredible. When you think about what a vast surface area Buffelshoek Dam has, you can imagine how much rain. When you think of how incredibly dry that mud was, so how much of it was soaked up by the mud first before it started to gather, and you get an idea of how much rain we had. Isn't that wonderful? Another big rain like that and we won't even be able to see the mud at the bottom of Buffelshoek Dam. This is Buffelshoek Major, there's Buffelshoek Minor at the back, because there's a strange little ridge between them. I don't quite understand. But there you go, Buffelshoek Major and Minor have water in them once again. The hippos don't have to fight so much for space anymore. The animals have somewhere to drink that's going to become nice and clean. It is marvellous. Of course, I've trapped myself now, haven't I? Because I can't drive across the dam wall. By the way, there are no terrapins yet. There will be by the sunset safari, though, I have a feeling. And we're going to go all the way around Buffelshoek East. It was unbelievably pleasant last night, sitting and listening to the sound of the thunderstorm and the rain pouring on the roof. Listening to these Franklin, I'm going to try and find them. They're making a lot of noise, and I'm going to look up in my bird book what it is exactly. The bird book says they say. Look at this poor Battalier attempting to balance itself in this wind. Well done, sorry Dave, awkward angle. There we go. There she is. Without a tail, Battalier battling the high winds. Must be quite fun. I think it must be quite fun. Look at it go. Look at her go. Sorry, it was a female. Let's go a little bit further around the corner and then we can answer Mauritia's question when she was wondering what Franklins would be described as, or the sound that they make in the book, and saying that they would be described as the bush alarm clock. Absolutely, the kind of alarm clock that you can't set the time for. So 4 o'clock in the morning is perfect for them, which is alright for us, I suppose. We're up then anyway. Certainly in summer we are. But when it's your morning off, that's not so bad anyway, because your body clock wakes you up. Okay, one last look. What are we doing? Crested Franklin. Let's have a look at what the book says for Crested Franklin. We all know what they sound like. Most of us know what they sound like. Franklin Crested. 124. Goodness. Okay, our Crested Franklin is described as a rattling duet. Chee-chuckler, chee-chuckler. Actually, that's not so bad. Chee-chuckler, 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 chee-chuckler. Yep, fair enough. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, that one gets the nod. That was pretty descriptive. I think you might... My point about this whole exercise was if you were reading this book without ever hearing the bird call, or if you were trying to figure out if the bird that you're looking at is the one in the book, you'd struggle to do it with the call. You'd struggle to equate what's written with the call. Not that that's anybody's fault. Alright, well, the birds are out and about and going about their daily meals. Let's go and see some oxpeckers with some impala.
Well, we did have oxpeckers. Oh, there we go. Look at the oxpeckers. They are giving the Impala gears this morning. So every oxpecker that has landed on the Impala have made a concerted effort to chase them off. You can see that there. So there's another one. Hello. And they are both fluffy. The Impala as well as that oxpecker has its feathers all ruffled, and it is really cold. I think it's even colder than when we started first thing this morning. Look at them just sitting there. So those Impala have sat down now, just trying to keep out of the wind. Obviously, the lower down to the ground you are, the better. But they're probably a lot warmer than we are, and I'm sure Jamie's told you about the phylloerection. But just to sort of simplify it, it's basically like an electric blanket that is formed between the layer of the skin and the fatty layer on the Impala. So it's a nice warm air pocket, and I wish right now I had that adaptation. It would have been really great, because I am sitting here and I am frozen solid, but serves me right for wearing shorts. Now look at this oxpecker just trying to get under. There we go. No, don't go to the eyes. But I see what this oxpecker is doing, is trying to get into spots underneath sort of the face, where also possibly there'll be a lot of ticks that congregate in that area. And like humans, I'm pretty sure the animals like to eat on these nice cold days. Sort of comforting, isn't it? I'm hoping that we're going to have jungle oats or something along those lines for breakfast this morning, because I think that would honestly do the trick and warm us all up so nicely. But you can also see this Impala is now taking the opportunity to ruminate. Normally they'll ruminate during the heat of the day, but I suppose when it's nice and cold as well and you don't want to be up and walking around, they're going to just sit and catch up on some digesting. And that oxpecker, they are so funny. They always feel like they're looking straight at you. That oxpecker knows to keep its distance. Oh no, I'm going to sit in the middle of your head and clean the ticks out over there. Now there are two different species of oxpecker. I don't know if I've told any of you this before. So these are the red-billed oxpeckers, and then you'll occasionally see in this area the yellow-billed oxpeckers, which is a very special one to see, and you'll find them at the end of a big buffalo herd. So if you have a breeding herd of buffalo that are more than about 200, then you've got a really good chance of seeing the yellow-billed oxpecker, and their call is slightly different as well. It's a lot deeper and a lot more raspy than the red-billed oxpecker, so that's something to listen out for. Now, because most people would think that they're competing for the same food source, and you're correct. However, the yellow-billed oxpeckers tend to go for the bigger, juicier ticks that you'll find on the animals, whereas these red-billed oxpeckers have almost got that comb-like structures inside their beaks, and you'll normally see them scissoring through the hair of the animal. So this one seems to just really be pecking, and they're eating the finer ticks. You see that there? How it sort of runs its beak through the hair, and then it picks up all the little ticks and other little parasites that are in there. Oh, get off my face, please. Oxpecker doesn't take no for an answer. They are very persistent. But do you see what I say when I say that it looks like they keep looking at us? They peck, 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 and then they stare straight towards us with that bright yellow eye. Isn't that a beautiful shot? An Impala and an oxpecker happily going about their day. Well, the Impala seems to get a little bit frustrated with this oxpecker every now and then. Here we go. You can see that motion that I was talking about as it sort of scissors through the hair. These are also quite comical birds, the oxpeckers, especially when they're in groups and they have little domestic disputes. I believe that Jamie is having a lot of fun this morning. Remember how I was telling you that our rain covers were trying to make an escape? I think hers managed to take off with the wind, which is quite funny. That's the entertainment that comes with the wind and the rain, is we have to try and protect all this equipment that makes it possible for you out there to watch the show live. morning, Calvin. Calvin wants to know why impalas, when walking, have their tails down most of the time. Now, impala normally have their tails sort of tucked between their legs, and sometimes you see it's closer, being held closer towards their bum like it is at the moment, and we can't really see it too much now because obviously these impalas are sitting down. I think it's keeping their bums nice and warm. Now, if you get an animal like, or another antelope for instance, like in Nyala, who have a nice white streak under their tail, see that? See, even when they run, they're still keeping it flat on their bums. Now, with Inyala and Kudu and Bushbuck, when they are running, they actually flip their tails up and show that white fluffy hair, which acts as a follow me sound, which we were talking about earlier. So it just depends. It's the same thing in Nyala, Kudu. When they're walking normally, their tails stay flat. There's no need for them to curl it up and expose that white hair. But now Impala have different follow me signs. You can see those 3 black lines on the rump, and they have no need to turn their tails up. They've got those markings exposed all the time. You can see them just as this one disappears off into the distance. I think that male has had enough of that oxpecker. You see a little female coming through. She's also ruminating. There's an entire group of them that have all just decided to sit around here, and I think they're probably going to spend most of the morning just relaxing, trying to keep as warm as possible. Quite amazing how that green guarri bush just stands out. Let's try have one last little look, everybody, before we end the show. And I unfortunately don't think that we are going to be able to get to these lions this morning. I think there's just too much excitement around it, and we were lucky enough just to be able to find them this morning. I think, can you see a few more impala in there? Let's have one last look. Yeah, they're all hiding away, as you can see. Well, everybody, unfortunately our time is almost up now for the show. We'll probably try and follow up on the lions. Hopefully Jamie's keen to see some of the lions, some more of the lions, seeing as she just had a little glimpse this morning. But it has been wonderful to again spend another amazing sunrise safari, though it wasn't quite a sunrise. So just from myself and from Eggsy, who's hiding behind the camera, it was lovely, and I hope to see you again this afternoon. Let's have a little look at the impala just before we go.